For Lee County. We are going to call this meeting to order, the meeting of the zoning hearing office. It is Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. On the agenda, we're going to go through the agenda, I think, in reverse order today, just to do something fun. So first petition is going to be petition number 25-P-1653. And I believe the zoning administrator has a motion to make.
Yes, this petition is, the parcel within the petition is located in Palmyra Township. Since Palmyra Township has its own planning committee and comprehensive plan, they will have to hear this petition before the county can. So that is scheduled to occur on October 13th. So I would ask for a continuance of this hearing on this petition to Wednesday, October 29th at 5:30 p.m.
And you've been in contact with the petitioners
Yes,
and they agree with that continuance?
yes.
Does anybody object to continuing this petition to the next scheduled meeting, October 29th? Seeing no objections, the motion is granted and 25-P-1653 will be set over to October 29th at 5:30 p.m. I would ask everyone on their agenda, we do have Scrivener's error, which just means we put the wrong date on it. October 29th is Wednesday, not Thursday. So if you take a look at your agenda, you will see that it says Thursday, October 29th, but that's actually a Wednesday. So the next meeting will be Wednesday, October 29th. Then call petition 25-P-1652. The Rick Applequist Living Trust. Is there anyone here on that case?
I am not seeing the petitioner present.
Why don't we pass over this case at this point in time? If Mr. Applequist does appear, we can address that petition at that time. Otherwise, we'll address it at the end of the meeting. That brings us then to petition 25-P-1651. Is the petitioner here? Come forward and have a seat.
You can go ahead and have a seat. Okay.
Does the zoning administrator have any exhibits for this petition?
I do.
Can you briefly describe them and present them?
Yes. Zoning exhibit number 1 is a copy of the petition for special use filed on August 8th, 2025. Zoning exhibit 2 is a notice of public hearing for tonight's hearing. Zoning exhibit number 3 is the certificate of publication. And the publication was on September 9th in the Dixon Telegraph. Zoning exhibit number 4 is a list of the adjacent property owners. Zoning exhibit number 5 is a copy of the certified mail receipts dated September 9, 2025, and the green cards or electronic green cards for service of notice of public hearing to the adjacent property owners. Zoning exhibit number 6 is proof of posting notice for public hearing at the subject parcel 174 Rocky Ford Road in Sublette, Illinois on September 9, 2025. Zoning exhibit number 7 is copy of the letters with a copy of the petition to District 1 County Board members. Zoning exhibit number 8 is copy of the letters with a copy of the petition to county officials, that being Lee County Health Department, Lee County Engineer, and Highway Supervisor, and Lee County Soil and Water Conservation District. Zoning exhibit number 9 is letters to the township officials with copies of the petition, that being Sublette Township Supervisor and Sublette Township Highway Commissioner. Zoning exhibit number 10 is an aerial photo of the petition parcel. Zoning exhibit number 11 is a copy of the Lee County Comprehensive Plan Future Land Use Map. And zoning exhibit number 12 is a copy of the Lee County Comprehensive Plan with page 43 of volume 2 highlighted.
Thank you. Okay, so the way this is going to work, the petitioner has the burden to provide enough information for me to then make a recommendation to the county board. The way that works, she'll get sworn in, she'll provide testimony. She indicated that she has some exhibits. She'll be able to provide those. And then there'll be an opportunity if people want to ask her questions. And then there'll be an opportunity for some more evidence to come in. At the end of the evidence, if people want to make statements in support of or against this, or tell a funny joke, as long as it's clean, they'll have the opportunity to do that. And then at the end of that, then the petitioner will have the opportunity to provide a closing statement to the hearing officer. So if you do have questions of the petitioner when we get to that point, please feel free to ask those questions. I'll help you along a little bit just in some of the procedure. I'm not here to ask your questions for you, just like I'm not here to ask the questions for the petitioner. Okay, can you state your name, please?
Rosy Tellez,
Can you spell your first and last name?
ROSYTELLEZ.
And you are the petitioner in petition 25P1651?
Yes,
And the property is the 175 Rocky Ford Road in Sublette, is that correct?
yes.
And why don't you tell me a little bit about your petition?
Well,
You want to swear? You swear? Please, could you please stand up and raise your right hand?
yes.
And did you say yes?
Yes.
If you could always make sure you speak, because the court reporter
Oh,
can't
okay,
take
okay.
nods, and
Yeah.
she's
Yes.
yelled at me a lot over the last several years when I don't
Okay.
do it, so.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Bodnar. Can you now give me a brief description of what you want in the petition for special use?
Okay, the only thing that it is family and friends get together just to pray and meditate. But because our family is very big, so then it's going to be a big crowd of people, and it's going to be like cars in and out. So that's why is the reason that I'm here. So that way you guys know who I am and what I'm going to be doing. And I'm not selling anything. I don't try to change the zoning. We don't do any recreational drugs, so we don't drink alcohol in there either. So it's just getting together, friends and family, to meditate and pray and sing hymns that there's a little bit more loud than, just a regular get together.
And you indicated you had some paperwork you wanted me to see, is that correct?
Yes.
Can you briefly describe that before you bring it up?
It's literally is what I just said, because it's nothing else.
So your evidence there anyway is just a statement of the, of
Yes.
use.
Yeah. Hmm.
So we'll call that petitioner's Exhibit 1. You can bring it forward. Thank you. Um, One of the documents you gave me in your Exhibit 1 seems to be a proposed site plan. Is that
Well, that's because I want you to see, I wanted to make sure that the cars are parked in the right way. I don't want it to be any hassle or anything like that. So that's why I place it out like that. So you can see that we're trying to do as best as we can just to be safe and to be able to go in and out the right way. And then, everything is taken care, like the garbage and the disposable parties and, that's it.
And this seems to indicate that you want to use a tent, is that correct?
Well, I think yes, I would use a tent.
I'm not sure that a special use permit is appropriate avenue for a tent. Have you thought about doing a temporary use? Because a tent is not a permanent structure.
Well, yeah, I'm here so you can tell me what I can do. This is what.
So that's not part of this. This
Mhm.
is, we're just talking about the petition that you filed.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to get to make sure that we are using this process appropriately.
Of course.
And again, you don't have to be a lawyer. You're supposed to just be able to come here. So you're doing fine. I'm not saying you do anything wrong. But a tent is usually not a permanent structure that would qualify for special use because you're not really changing the nature of the zoning if you're putting up a tent.
Mm-hmm.
And then also some of the documents in here seem to be, you just said family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
What limit to family and friends are you proposing to put?
Well, I'm thinking about probably between 90 to 120 because yes, my husband's side of the family, it's 7 siblings with their married with 4 kids. Just set it up and now they're getting married. So then when we get together, we are like 150 people.
Okay. Is there other evidence that you want me to consider other than what you've provided
No,
in the statement that you made?
no.
Does anyone here have any questions they want to ask of the petitioner to elicit facts, not give their name? I know Ms. Hinkle's going to have some, but if you do have some, I want you to again think about, please you're asking questions about the petition not necessarily how you feel about it. And before you get started, I'm going to need to let Ms. Hinkle speak. Do you have any questions?
I do.
Push the button. Is that live? All right.
I'm sorry, Ms. Hinkle gets to go first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you put the microphone back on mute?
Okay, what is the name of your church?
I'm Mormon, but this is not going to be a church. I mean, it's just us get together and pray, but I don't have any, it's not like a church. It's just us, like if you get with your friend and pray. So I mean, I'm not trying to build, because I'm not trying to build a church, but I'm a Mormon.
I guess I'm confused. Is your petition not for a church or
No,
religious?
no.
That's not what you're petitioning
No,
for?
I just wanted to know that I'm going to have in the weekends, people come over to my house, and then we're going to be praying and singing, but that's what we're going to be doing. But I mean, I'm not pretending to be making a church. I'm too way for that. I mean, no.
Okay. You said that approximately 90 to 100 people would be on site, but up to 150?
Yeah, like in the holidays.
Are these gatherings open to the public?
Oh, no, 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 no. It's just family and friends.
I guess describe these events.
Okay, we choose some books, a literature from sometime for meditation, and then we go over, and then somebody bring like a topic. Sometimes it can be if they have anxiety, and that week or whatever, in that moment, they will describe and they will write it down and see how they're feeling, and they work it out. And then we all, hear and they give it a point of view, and then we also read, and then we also pray and we sing hymns.
So are you meeting regularly or are these?
Yeah, we try to do that like twice a month.
And on what day, are these over a
Well,
weekend?
in the weekend, yeah, because I work and they all work.
So there would be overnight.
It's some of them that will stay overnight, yes.
Will anyone be residing at the property full time?
Not yet, not in this moment. Probably maybe in the coming years, yes.
Why such a rural location?
Because I don't want to disturb when we're singing. That's why I love the property. Because I know if I go to a neighborhood and then we start singing, like at 10 o'clock, they're going to call the cops on me. They're going to say that we are singing outside or something.
Are you aware that there are noise ordinance within the county that you would have to comply with?
Of course.
At the time of petitioning, is Jaime your husband?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
At the time of petitioning, I spoke with him before I met with you, and he said that this is going to serve people with addictions. Specifically.
Some of my family members, they've been alcoholics. My husband is an alcoholic. But I mean, we also, if they're struggling with the alcohol, we also, they talk about it. They talk about everything, whatever is in their soul and their heart in that time.
Okay, he also mentioned that there would be little sleeping, is that correct?
Yes, some of the sleepover, yes.
Do you have any association with the Agua Viva USA organization?
I do, yes.
And is that what this is?
No.
Okay,
no.
what's the difference?
The difference with that is a big organization in Mexico.
But they have local chapters.
They do have local sites, yes. Mhm.
There's a number of structures on the property. Do you intend to use those structures for these events?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Um, Have you had any conversations with the local fire districts about the requirements for having a?
I'm waiting for you guys' answer.
Um, Have you done any commercial inspections of any of the structures on site?
Commercial? No. Mm-mm.
Have you had any conversations with the Lee County Health Department as to whether the existing septic system is suitable for your proposed use?
Well, that's going to be a portal party, so no.
How, okay. I think that's all I have at this time.
Do you have a couple of questions based on Ms. Henkel's questions? Said some people will be staying overnight.
Yeah,
Where will they be staying?
in the house.
How many?
Probably I would say maybe about 10, 15.
And are you planning on using the tent and the porta potties 12 months of the year?
Yeah.
I apologize too. I tend to mumble even when I have the microphone in front of me. And the question I asked was, how many people is she planning on having stay the night? She said 10 to 15. And then I asked, is she planning on using the facilities all 12 months of the year, including the tent and the porta potties, to which she said yes. Now, is there anybody that wants to ask her questions about her petition? And this time I actually mean, you can get up.
Try and get it right this time.
Can you state your name and spell your first and last name, please?
I dropped a letter off with Ms. Hinkle this morning. My wife did.
Okay.
Could I read that at this time?
So do you not have any questions that you want to ask the petitioner?
There's questions as part of this.
Okay. I want you to state your name.
Okay. My name is Mark Strite. I live at 1736 Todd Road.
And Strite is S-T-R-E-I-T?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Live at 1736 Todd Road, which is around the corner from the property in question here on Rocky Ford Road. So I'm a quarter mile north and quarter mile east of the property in question. We've been there with my wife Cindy for 52 years. Our farm has been in the family since 1872 and has received sesquicentennial designation from the state of Illinois.
Congratulations.
This part of May Township has always been agricultural, and I would urge this zoning board of appeals to keep it that way. Just recently, I became aware of the petition that was made and contingent upon the property being purchased here, granting a special use permit for the purpose of operating a church or religious facility. That to me opens up a whole line of questions that need to be answered, just a few of which include: how does the buyer define church or religious facility?
Now, this would be your opportunity, Ms. Ellis, to answer that
Would-
question.
That's because it's not going to be a church and I'm not trying to change any zoning.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
It's not going to be a church and I'm not trying to change the zoning.
She's answered the question, so you can ask your next question.
Well, that's good enough for now. Next was, what building or remodeling plans are there for the property?
I don't understand his question.
So he wants you to describe the exhibit that you provided where you have parking spots and where you're
Oh,
going to have
well,
a tent and all
Yeah,
those.
well, in the back, it's going to be like a tent just for us to, to do our meditation. And then, like right in the middle of, I would say probably in the third acre, like in the middle, there's going to be the parking space. And then the side, they're going to be the potty toilets. And then that's it.
Okay, moving on. Next question I had was what is the target group for parishioners of this church or religious facility?
I don't understand his question.
Are you looking to recruit people?
Oh, no, 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 no.
Okay.
No, it's just families and friends. Yes, no.
Well, what's your prediction for average daily or weekly attendance?
That's going to be in the weekends.
I think he's asking how many people.
Oh, how many people? Well, between 80 and holidays, probably it's going to be like 150.
Yeah, 150, right? What safety or building codes will need to be updated or followed?
I think that I have to go with the fire department.
All right, next
follow the
question,
language.
which would lead to my next question then. Has the local fire department, which is sublet, 6 miles away, have they been made aware of your plans?
No, not yet. I'm waiting for you guys' answer so I can do what I need to do so everybody can be saved.
And then has Lee County Sheriff's Department, have they been made aware of your plans? And
I'm
do they
still-
have any concerns for additional patrols for the area?
No, I'm still waiting for this court to decide.
Well, will there be multiple families or individuals living on the property?
No.
How many staff members do you plan for your activities on the week, if you're going to do this twice a month for 150 people?
Well, yeah, that's going to be about 7, 8, or 9 families.
Staff. And you have plans for property security or staff security?
I don't understand.
What part of the question do you not understand?
He said that if I need security,
Sec-
Do you have
like,
any plans for security of the property or of the participants?
no, the participants, yeah, us.
Okay, those are the questions that I included in my letter to the zoning board here. And I think you get the idea. There's a lot of questions here that myself and a lot of our neighbors have about what could possibly go on here. And anyhow, I oppose the granting of the special use permit, and I would urge the board to do the same. Thank you.
Do you want your letter to be part of the official record of this?
Excuse me?
You want your letter to be included?
Yes, please include that in the official minutes if you would, please.
I'm going to call this then interested party exhibit number 1.
Okay.
Just for your records.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
You're back on.
My name's Margie Becker, B as in boy, Ecker. I just have one question for her. We have many churches around where we live, or several. Every weekend, there's families and friends that get together and pray and sing. I guess I don't understand why you wouldn't want to come to those and pray and sing together.
Because a lot of the people, they don't really emphasize in depression and anxiety. So they just go like every broad. They don't really, work with.
Well, we have many people like that as well. So I guess I just don't understand the separation.
You need to let her answer the question.
Yeah, that's because I go to my own church too, and there is a lot of great people in church and community. But when we get together and we really discuss a problem that it really happened, like sometimes it can be like a rape or abuse or something, you cannot go in church and say, oh, guess what? I've been raped. But when you are with a couple of friends that they're going to be giving you a support, a group support, that's what we do, then you can open up yourself a little bit more. And especially if you know that that's going to stay there, because, we don't say anything to nobody. It's just like, it says and it stays like that. Just get it out of her chest.
Any other questions?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. There's a race.
Hi, my name is Susan Cook, Cook. I'm just wondering, where are these people coming from?
Well, I live in Crystal Lake. And then they usually, some of them, they live in Round Lake, some of them live in Wheeling, some of them, so they live, around their area. I mean, around, my house. So yeah, this is where we're coming from.
And you have been looking for a place for some time, or has this just been recent that you're looking?
I've been looking for a year.
Okay, I was just curious as to, we have Woodhaven Lakes now. Well, we have a lot of people from Chicago area, and they have, I don't know, how many campsites out there? 4,000? And so we have a lot of people, from the Chicago area now, and I was curious as to where these people were coming from.
Do you have any other questions?
Yes.
My name is Christine Bittner. I live at 1727 St. Mary's Road,
Can you spell your first and last name, please? for the
Lamoille.
record?
Christine Bittner.
Can you spell it?
Christine, Christine, Bittner, Bittner. I just have a couple questions. She mentioned that they would be singing at 10 o'clock at night. And if they have 150 people, are all those people going to be driving up to Crystal Lake at that hour of the night? Or are they going to have to stay there?
Yeah, they're going to be driving home. Some of
Wow.
them, and some of them will stay.
Okay, well, and my other question is, that is not a 2-lane striped road. Is that okay? I mean, are you going to check with the road district on that?
I can do that.
Because that's kind of a narrow road to handle that many people all at once, I think. So, and let's see what anything else. And are you actually going to be having a church service, or is this just going to be more? So you're not an ordained minister or anything? Okay, thank you. That's
No.
all.
Any other questions? Can you be on the microphone, please? We have people on Zoom that need to have the opportunity to hear you as well.
I'm at 98 Kessel Road. We're a mile from the property.
Can you spell your first and last name, please?
It's Robert Common. That's Stewart. And we're at 98 Kessel Road. We're a mile from the property. And you're talking about people with anxiety, talking about rape, talking about criminal type activity going on that they've had in their past? Are these people registered sex offenders? Are they currently waiting trial? Are they currently charged? Have they done the activity and not been arrested yet? Are they coming out to confess to you as some type of are you a counselor? Are you a counseling facility? I mean, I'm kind of looking at
You need to let her answer at least one of those questions, and then we can get to the next one, okay?
No, I'm not a counselor, and not that I know that they are ex-convicted or anything like that. No.
So I walk up to you and said, I raped 16 women. I mean, who are you to say that I can confess that to you? I mean, will you turn me into the state police, the Lee County? They're going to call Lee County on me? I mean, where are we at on who's showing up at this facility? The reason I'm asking is our area is a lot of elderly people, and we have a lot of elderly ladies living there well within 5 miles of this facility. So I guess I'm kind of worried about people driving around at night, you know, kind of casing things. Are we looking at potential crimes?
That's the reason why I'm here, because I really wanted to know what are we going to be doing? Because we're not trying to harm anybody. We wanted to be part of the community. Otherwise, if I were to do something illegal, I just buy the house and, just let it be. But I came over here because I wanted you guys to know who I am, and, that there's going to be people in there, that they're going to be, and it tell you exactly what we're doing. So that way you guys know. But I'm not a counselor, and then they're not murders or anything like that. No, like I said, we're not going to have any alcohol. We're not going to have any recreational drugs, nothing like that.
I've heard anxiety come out of your mouth 3 times on people that are coming out there. I mean, what is anxiety to you?
Well, anxiety is when your mind is full of thoughts and you just can't get it out.
So who are you to counsel these people, not being a counselor, with these type of thoughts that they're not going to proceed and move these thoughts forward in our community?
That's what I say, that this is just a group of people who help each other, and we also research with the literature. We're not charging, we're not doctors, we're not anything. It's just a friend that they get together, and then that's what we do. Just pray and get things out, and then, that's it.
So are you looking to be a church or a refuge? You
No.
said church a dozen times.
No, I'm trying to be a church. No.
Okay, on the petition, I've seen something about the church. I mean, isn't that what you wrote down on the petition?
Well, she told me that they will follow in that category, but but it's not a church, and I'm not selling anything. So then I don't know. Because it's not going to be a church. I really don't know the alignments to be in a church, but I'm not going to be a church because I'm not a priest, and I'm not going to be, doing any service, because a church, I would assume, is for a public, and then this is just family and friends, that's it.
So how do you define family and friends?
Like I said, our family are very big, and then we all very close together. And like I said, when we also get together, we are a big crowd.
So you're defining bloodline family, religious family? I guess I don't understand where this family line's coming in.
Well, it's blood and also friends.
Has anybody done any backgrounds on these people coming out? My concern is these people coming out at 150 at a time. The criminal thing is really sticking in my mind. We're a small community, a family community out here. We don't need that type of activity coming out to the entire county, period.
Mm-hmm. And I totally understand your concerns. That's why I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Larry Becker, Becker. when you said your family, you're just bringing family and friends out. But then when you started describing, people were going to have been, raped and drugs. But if that's all your family and your friends, why do you got to come out here just to counsel them?
The reason that I like the property because it is away from everybody, and then we really get connected with with the mother nature. So that's why I like the property. But yes, there's some people that have this fortune and they have this kind of trauma, and then they gather together and then get it out. It's been helping them.
So you have that many people in your family that have that many problems with drugs or being raped. That's what you're saying. It's family and friends. If that's family and friends, then
Not
you have not a
not
very
drugs.
good family.
Yeah, not drugs.
Also, they just been raped.
The word, yeah, one of them, yes.
One out of and what you want 150 to come out twice
Yeah.
a month.
So,
Makes
yeah, one.
no sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I.
Anybody else have any questions? We'll bring you a microphone, ma'am. Apparently you guys already thought of that.
Thank you. My name is Kathleen McLaughlin, McLaughlin, and I live on Rocky Ford Road in the area that this petition is about. And I'm noticing in the petition that it's asking for operating a church or religious facility. If this is just a group of family and friends, why is that request in there?
Because it's going to be quite a few people, and then I just don't want them to be like thinking like they were thinking right now, because it's normal for them to think when they see like a lot of cars coming in and out, they're going to be probably misunderstanding that who I am and who they are and what we're doing. So that's the reason why I want your permission to have those gather together in that place.
May I ask what your occupation is?
I'm a hairdresser.
So if there are people coming that have serious problems, who is going to counsel them?
That's because this is not any kind or type of professional thing. That's why it's stated just family and friends. And whoever of my family and friends that wanted to come, they're more than welcome. That's it. This is not a clinic. This is not a psych bite. This is not anything that you guys might think. This is just what it is.
But you are admitting that there be people coming who may have been convicted of serious crimes or are seeking counsel because they have been violated? Or are these the people doing the violations that you are asking into our community?
No, it's just the people that they've been struggling with their own selves.
I guess I'm just confused why it has to have this big a agreement that it's acceptable to have this type of thing when we have a community with many very young children and families that are well established and take care of our area. I don't understand why I would want this in the neighborhood with all these cars, all these people, all this noise at any time of the day or night. I guess I don't understand how that can be acceptable. Thank you.
I understand. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Brian Russell, Russell. My concern is you realize it's not it's a township, correct? It's not a constant road crew out there to go and take care of the roads and stuff like that. So if you're going to have 150 people out there on any given weekend, the weather out there in the wintertime can change on the dot. I mean, and right there where you're going, the snow blows in there pretty quickly. So my concern is as far as we are out there, basically the road crews out there plowing snow from anywhere from 2, 3 o'clock in the morning till dark, basically because of visibility. So if you have that many people out there at that time of night and there's an emergency, then the road crew is going to have to come out and make sure the roads are cleared. And that's one of my concerns as far as that. And then parking, and as mentioned before, the cars traveling up and down the road.
Do you have a question for the petitioner?
No, I was just voicing my concerns as far as that.
Okay.
I
Thank
was
you.
also advise the board to vote no. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else have questions?
Okay, Mark Schumann. It's MarkSchuemann. I'm in 352 Morgan Road in Amboy, which is Maytown. After listening to all of this, I just want a summary question. So you came here to get a petition to get special use code updated so that you could have a religious activity at your property. The reason for that is because you know that the process or the things that you'll be doing with these 150 people is going to create a racket or create noise. Because my question to you would be, have you had this kind of problem before in the previous places you're coming from? Why is it here now? How many years you've been doing this?
No, I never done this before, so I'm just something that, I thought that would be good for us to do it over here, but no, I never have.
So you haven't had any of these gatherings at any other time prior to coming here?
No,
Okay, so this
But
is
I-
the first time you've had 150 people at this gathering, revival.
yeah, that is going to be the first time.
And to appreciate the freedoms of doing that, that's great. But with the special use, what
Mhm.
this special use is, the way I understand it, is so that you could build a church and you could put a parking lot and you can build it to code and everyone knows what time of day the church meetings are. So maybe I would want to come because I have a best friend that's an alcoholic and been 35 years since I got married.
Mhm.
And so I would welcome those type of people and that kind of situation in if it was going to be useful to our community. So how is your 150 people and your petition to make basically, the way I understand it, my question to you is, are you just trying to get that religious exemption so that you could have a 150 person gathering to not get complaints from the neighbors at 10 o'clock at night when the noise gets too loud and you're violating all the regulations in the normal Sublette community code?
Mhm. No, I mean, it's not going to be any religious type or any type like that. So this is like I said, and I wanted to come over here and just expose to myself and then just tell them to honestly what I'm going to do and what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to be living everything to you guys because I'm not hiding anything and I'm not pretending to hide anything because I come over here to bring peace for ourselves and for also the community. I don't want to make any disturb for anybody or any harm. So that's why I'm here.
Right. I appreciate the effort to preempt any kind of conflict you might have with neighbors in the community for having your 150 person gathering, because you know probably that would happen, which is why you requested the special use exemption. But that special use exemption is to create a religious community like our Maytown Church that I've been going to for 35 plus years. And like we are a religious community, we would love to have nothing more but another one, but it needs to be set up right, follow the right rules and do the right things. So it doesn't sound like there's a need for this special use permit at all in the first place. And you're basically asking permission for us to have our parties and our revival, whatever it's going to be, on a regular basis. So my question to you is there really any reason for you to have the special use as a religious use permit?
I just want them to know what I'm doing.
That's it. That's all
And
I
they're
got.
gonna be okay with all of you. That's it. I mean, it's not any other reason. I'm not gonna make a church. I'm not because I'm not a priest. I'm not, so it's just, that's it. I just wanted to do the things the right way because I feel like I'm accountable. I wanted to be able to respect to all of you, and I'm expecting everything back because I'm not trying to be unrespectful. If anybody feel like that, I apologize, but I'm not trying to hurt anybody. And then I just wanted to, so everybody know who I am.
We do have a question on Zoom as well. We know which person it is, Jonathan.
This is Leanne Riley and Keith Riley at 1663 Todd Road. We would be one of your closest neighbors. I guess our concern for you is bringing, 150 people out here, and you say they're all family and friends, and it strikes us as odd because we have a lot of family and friends as well. And we can name maybe like 5 that have these anxiety, depression, rape, and alcohol addiction. So I don't know how long you've known these family and friends, and our concern is them wandering your property, scoping out the neighbor's property, turning around in our driveway. We have animals, livestock, dogs. And then, are you charging anybody? How are you finding all these family and friends with all of these anxiety, depression, rape, alcohol addictions? How are you finding all these people?
Like I said, just the word of mouth, and then in our own friends circle. But I mean, no, we're not charging anything. It's not going to be. That's why I'm not changing any zoning or anything like that, because we're not charging anything.
We're just concerned that it sounds a little bit cult-like. And we, like I said, we would be one of your closest neighbors, and we have children, animals, and our property, and we're concerned about the type of people you would be bringing to our area.
Of course, yes, I understand.
That's all the questions I have right now.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else have a question?
Hi, I'm Deborah Althaus, Althaus. I live on Lamoille Road. Are you a property owner at Woodhaven Lakes by chance?
I'm a property owner. I'm a property owner of what? I'm sorry?
At Woodhaven Lakes.
No.
Okay, I was just trying to figure out how, because Crystal Lake's far, so I didn't know if like there's Poplar Grove over there, and there's other areas, so that's why I was trying to figure that out. Will your property taxes be exempt if this is passed? Do you know? Does anybody know?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to avoid taxes or anything like that. It's just, I don't know anything. No, I don't know. I don't think so.
That is one of my questions too. Are you exempting on the taxes on this for 401c? Are you paying just property taxes on it? How are you financing the people coming here?
Well, they're going to be bringing their own meals and their own stuff, and then we do pitch in for the toilets. That's it. And then sometimes if we order pizza or something, so yeah, we pitch in, But yeah, they're going to be bringing their own stuff. Oh, and also the garbage. Yeah, they're going to be we're going to be paying all of us for the garbage.
Okay, I'm gonna bust the bubble. Your Latina heritage, these 150 people, I understand we're sanctuary state, we're sanctuary city with Chicago. Are these legals coming up here to stay? I mean, what's your connection to moving people in with this family relationship?
I don't know that that's inside the scope of a special use permit.
Well, it's kind of in the scope of who's coming to this property to be allowed to be with the church in this permit.
I certainly understand. I don't think we should go down that road at this time.
Well, it's a question of legitimate, I guess I keep falling back to the criminal side of this. When I'm retired police, I guess. Key knows me, everybody knows me here. This is my concern. I've dealt with sex offenders. I have dealt with these people. I still have nightmares about some of them. So my concern is this something that's going to be coming to the community?
They're not going to be coming over here to live here. No.
I just asked the board to deny this. It just seems too vague. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Just have one more question. Are there any children
Can you
in your
please state,
family?
can you please state your name? again for
Margie
the record?
Becker.
Thank you.
Any children in your family and friends that come here?
Then, yeah, on the special holidays, yes, that's going to be children. Yes.
Just on a holiday?
Yes, I would think so, yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Appleman, CHELSEA APPLEMAN. Live right next to this property here with very young children, so I am a little bit concerned with this. As far as the late nights and everything go, you said that you are Mormon.
Yes.
Okay. Is everybody else that is going to be coming out, are they also Mormon?
No.
So are you trying to bring them into your, what does you being Mormon have to do with anything?
That's because it's not really, it's more spiritual. It's not a religion. It's more spiritual because I really believe that, I am a Mormon and I go to the Mormon church, but that's my personal choice. And everybody have their personal choice to choose any religion. But this together is just us, is more spiritual. It's literally more the friendship. But it's not, that's because it's not a church. It's not anything like that.
Are you trying to teach them like the Mormon ways?
No.
Okay. So we're talking alcoholics. You had mentioned that. Some of them being currently alcoholics?
No, because we don't drink. No.
So who's monitoring what is coming in and out of that place so that we would know that there will be no alcohol?
When I invite my friends, I know who they are. And I know who drinks or who doesn't, or who behave, who doesn't behave. And then that's how I know.
So you're going to be able to notice 150 people all being sober at the same time?
Yes, because none of them drink.
I'm just concerned with you bringing it to our attention that these are recovering alcoholics and you saying that there's going to be no alcohol there. I don't believe it's possible for one person to be able to monitor 150 people. There could be drunk driving, there could be loud drunk people or loud people in general. I'm just concerned with, like I said, I live right there. How late are you guys going to be staying up singing and noise, I guess, any sort of noise, praying, singing? What time of the night are you going to be up doing that?
I guess I can just, I can check with the municipality and see what they say, what's the alignments, and then I can fold everything according to what they want me to do. I would do it. And
What time of the night do these people go home?
Depends on what time I will finish. It can be 10 o'clock, sometimes it can be 11, sometimes it can be 12, and some of them are going to stay overnight. So then we're going to be very. And then I don't drink. I have never drank in my life.
I'm not concerned about you. I'm just concerned about the fact that you brought up recovering alcoholics. And sometimes when you drink too much, you can not really be aware of where you are and who you're around. And like I said, I'm very concerned with my family and my community, with whomever you are bringing to these parties. And we just don't know them. So we're not really very comfortable with having 150 people that we are unfamiliar with and not knowing them personally, and potentially how they are going to act or what they are going to do coming in and out of our community. So that's all I got.
Yeah, and I do understand that I'm a mother also, and I'm a grandma. And then I do understand, all their concerns, and that's why I'm here to answer it.
We do have another question on Zoom.
Okay, I'm here. I'm Ashley Morrissey and I live on 201 Lamoille Road.
Okay, and what's your question?
I'm a little concerned and hung up on, you say that this is friends and family that you'll have at this location.
Yes.
And then you have stated that you are not recruiting people.
No.
But then you use the words, people will hear, your friends and family will be sharing, and people will hear word of mouth.
Yeah,
And
they asked me how. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Let her
it's okay.
finish her question, and
I'm
then you'll
so
have an
sorry.
opportunity to answer.
Okay.
It's hard on Zoom.
Yeah.
You're doing fine.
So I guess my question is, if your family and your friends are telling people about this location, and you said other people hear word of mouth. So to me, that is a form of recruiting. And I also am concerned because you don't know a lot of these individuals that are actually coming to the location. So you don't know where they are in their recovery. You do not know their criminal background. Am I correct? You don't know every single person on a personal level that is coming here.
I know about 99% of them. So
Okay.
I know that they're not drinking. I know that they're behaving, because I don't want to also have a big problem for myself either, and for the people who are going to be there.
I'm just really hung up on it. It doesn't add up to me, because I can meet someone that's going through someone similar that is at this group, and I can automatically call them my friend, also known as it's recruiting. And that's just kind of where I'm a little confused. And I feel like there's going to be more people there that you actually might not know.
Yeah, I understand your concern, but I'm just telling you who are going to be here. So yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And then Ms. Riley, did you have another question?
I do. Why can't these counseling or worship meetings be done at your current property? Why do you have to bring it out here?
Because like I said, we also meditate, and there is a great area to be close to Mother Nature, and then that's what I like.
Isn't your current property about 3 acres as well?
It's 2.
That's all I have.
Hi, Susan Schumann, S-U-S-A-N. Schumann is S-C-H-U-E-M-A-N-N. So are you currently having these types of gatherings anywhere else?
Yes, we get together sometimes in my house, but not, not as close because I live in a neighborhood. Well, I live in an unincorporated, but it's, we do get together. Yes.
And what is the maximum amount of people you've had at your gatherings?
80, 90. And then Thanksgiving, there was 103.
And where would you put a cap on the number of people? I know you've said up to 150. Would you be able to monitor a certain cap because of sewage systems and, just keeping the people in control?
Well, we usually, like, when we get together like that, that's some of my friends that, we just have that everything, we keep an eye on everything so we can, have everything in order.
But that wasn't my question. My question was, how would you cap the number of people that you would be allowing to come to these retreats or whatever you want to call them?
Because we sit down and then we just see each other. And then sometimes we put the name on it, so that way, so that way we know who are there.
So do they register with you ahead of time to say, hey, I'm coming this weekend?
Yeah, so that way we know for the toilets, for the parties, so we can order them.
So if you got to a certain number, would you turn people away from coming?
Yes.
And what is that magical number?
Well, that, like, right now it's like 150, I would say.
And you're basing that 150 on what?
And the amount of people that I know that they come often to my house.
But as we've stated, you had indicated that you would use word of mouth to spread the word. So I guess my concern is my concern is in general that this is being considered, but also that 150 could grow enormously. And I don't feel as though you're giving me relief to say that you would stop it at any certain number.
The word of mouth, they told me how they ask me how they know. Well, me and, my cousin, we got together, and then my cousin told, her other niece of whatever, and some of her friends too. So then, and I know them because they grow up together. So that's how the word of mouth, that's how we came bigger. But that's not like I'm telling everybody, outside of us, or flyers, or anything like that. So that's the question that they asked me before. So that's why I say this, how we get so big. So that's how we get big.
And I can appreciate that you wouldn't be maybe sharing it with people you don't know, but of the 150 others, they may be, and you're not going to have control over who they're sharing the invitation to.
Well, right now, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I'm talking what I'm doing right now. So we are assuming, or maybe next month I decided not to do it. So I don't know. So I'm talking right here, right now, what I'm going to be doing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Cindy Streit, S-T-R-E-I-T, and I live at 1736 Todd Road, which is about a mile from the place where you're wanting to move to. I would just like you to know that this is a community of people that care about each other And when someone moves in, we go and we visit them and we take things to them. You've got me scared. I don't want to come. Thank you.
And I do understand.
Anybody else have a question? We will have time for comments later, but a question?
In this day and age,
I'm sorry, could you state your name again for the
oh, I'm
record?
sorry,
You're fine.
Kathleen McLaughlin.
Thank you, ma'am.
In this day and age with, I'm not familiar with all of it, but Facebook, TikTok, all of these things, how are you going to control who comes? If someone puts this out there and says, hey, free range, let's go. How are you going to control people you don't know that may be coming just because they've heard about this it's out in the country, nobody around, let's go, grab a six-pack, we'll have a good time. How are you going to control that?
You're right. With the technology right now, it can go on and on. But we make sure that because it's so sensitive, that things that we talk in there, so we try just to keep it small, not 1,000 or 2,000 people that they're going to put it on Facebook because it's not easy to put stuff in my life on Facebook, even though that sometimes people put there just the fake life, but not the real life or the real pain.
But if there are 150 people there that you say you know, they're family and friends, and it's after dark, and these people, who knows who they might be or what they might be on or in their possession, just decide, let's go see what's going on here. How are you going to know who belongs and who doesn't? And what preparation do you have for the ones who just decide to stop and maybe have a good time?
You know, you're right. I'm not going to be accountable for all of them. I can only be accountable for the people that like I said, my friends and my family, but it's the one that they're going to be there. So then, and you're right. Maybe sometimes some people, they would think that they would do something like that. And I do understand your concern. But I mean, I know that the people that they're going to be here, they're not going to be, trying to do anything, but I'm 100% sure. No, you're right. Because I can't control 150 people's mind. I can barely control mine sometimes. So, but I do understand your concerns.
But what provision do you have for that?
Like I said, I don't have any, with that, I don't have anything because I can't control all the people. I know that they're good people, but yeah, maybe, like you said, maybe one would say, I'm not going to assure you that they're not going to be doing or promise you they're not. I know that they're good people, but you don't know them. I know them, but you don't know, and I understand your concerns.
And if some of these people who you know, but have these serious problems, go out of bounds on what you want them to do, what provisions do you have to protect the neighborhood from these people?
They're not welcome in our house if they're not behaving, if they don't really get focused in what we wanted to do, and that's fine. I have the choice to have them over there or not.
But if they come, how are you going to handle them?
Like I said, we usually when we go, it's not just me. We are more the group of friends that go, the ones who organize everything. And then, and also males and females. So then, we can get pretty secure. So then we try to control if it needs to be the point. But for the most time, we know who they are. And we never have any problem.
As I say, you when this becomes public knowledge, do you require anything to admit them to this group? Do you know if any of them carry firearms? I'm sure a person who is an addict of some type, they can become very hard to manage. And if one should be carrying a firearm, are you going to take them away from them? How are you going to protect these young families that are only half a mile away from a large group like that?
We don't allow any type of weapon because it literally is just to bring peace on ourselves, not to bring more chaos. But I understand that you guys don't know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you guys thinking that this is going to be murders and killers and this and that. And that's how our mind works. Our mind always works in the negative side. But that's what we're there for, just to try to bring the pieces in ourselves and then around the people around us.
Well, will you have someone at the driveway into the property and require information as to who they are and why they're there? And if you don't recognize them, you say they're family and friends. If you don't recognize them, what will you do then?
They're not allowed in my property.
But what will stop them? I doubt if 3 men pull in a truck, you won't be able to handle them. Who's going to take care of that?
Believe me, I mean, we know how to handle things. You know, if you're not invited, you're not going to be welcome in my property.
But how are you going to keep them out?
Like that, just they have to go back.
And that's going to stop somebody who's on drugs or alcohol.
But that's because you're assuming that there's going to be drunk and alcohol, and I already say that there's not going to be alcohol and drugs involved. You guys are assuming something that is not, that we don't do. I already say that there's going to be just pray and meditate and gather together. And you guys start saying that it's only criminals and rapers, or because there was only one rape in my family, it doesn't mean, and I'm sure.
You'll have an opportunity for a closing statement later. If we could stick with questions and answers.
Mhm.
I just don't understand how this can be controlled. In that large a group, how are you going to control people who have admitted that they're alcoholics, they're on drugs? What is the provision?
I don't think she's going to answer the question in a way that's going to satisfy you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Robert Stewart again. What's your 5-year plan on this property?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm just thinking that, and like right now, just to do that. And then I'm thinking, and then if like probably in maybe 2 years, maybe to move in here. When me and my husband were decided to retire, I still have a daughter in college that she need to go through. So then probably, yeah, maybe in 5 years, maybe we can move here.
My question to the zone is, if it's zoned a church and she decides to take residency up there, is it going to have to be rezoned? Permanent residency where she's getting mail.
All I'm dealing with is the petition in front of me at this time.
But the question of residency has come up though.
But that's not on the petition that's in front of me.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay,
I absolutely
got it.
understand your concern, but all I can deal with is the petition that's in front of me.
Okay. Are you looking to buy more property out here in this area?
I would love to be a farmer, but I mean, I really don't know. I really need a mentor to help me, learn more about that. But, probably, yeah, I would.
Okay. You're talking 150 people coming out in vehicles. Do you have how many vehicles that might take? And
I probably would say around 40. I would say 40 to 50, maybe, I would think.
buses or cars?
Cars. No. There's gonna be cars. That's just personal. They're personal cars.
So 150 people on the property at 40 cars. Man, you must have a circus. Where are you gonna park all these cars on this 5 acres? It's not really built for traffic, for parking, for a lot. I guess I'm concerned is with the wetness of the property.
I would make a gravel parking station like in the behind the barns. That's what I'm thinking to make the parking space.
Okay, are you gonna be parking any vehicles in the road?
No,
Will there be camping on the property?
I'm sorry.
Will there be camping on the property?
I would think, yeah, we would camp sometimes in the property. Yes, if it is a good night or everything, yeah, we would camp in there.
Okay, for the zone, does that have to be in the petition to allow for camping?
Again, I'm dealing with the petition that's in front of me.
Okay. And you'd say
There's
if you're
lots
gonna
of people
put a
that-
tent up, I mean,
Lots of people that buy property that do things that are not, it's
Understand.
not necessarily zoned for.
you're talking about putting a tent up on the property. I mean, you've come out there, drove around, right? and Seen all them big, white, huge blowing windmills out there? We have winds that will just shred that tent. Is that something you have thought about?
I don't understand his question.
Can you rephrase your question?
We live out on the second highest ridge in Illinois. That's why we have the windmills out there. And with those windmills, there's high winds. And anybody that lives out in our area, if you have any blown up yard ornament, it's probably gonna end up 3 neighbors down the road. So if you're gonna put a tent up, how do you plan on securing this tent without it being tore up and people being injured if they're camping in these tents?
Well, for that, it have to be everything related to the weather.
I believe his initial question was, you indicated that you were going to put up,
Oh, the tent?
A-
Well,
a
you
larger
know, the
tent.
people who will come and do it, I'm pretty sure that they will know exactly what to do. Make sure that everything is saved. And I also will follow the alignments with the fire department and see what they say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mark Schuman again. I keep coming back to the reason why we're here, sir. Why did you apply for the special use permit?
Because of the amount of people that are going to be coming in and out.
Correct. So your reason for the special use permit is for the amount of people, your friends and family, not open, which is per your statement, which is not open to the community. It's not supposed to be something where you're coming out to, because you're not recruiting people. I heard that earlier too. So you're not out to recruit or upset anybody, or you're just going to your own friends and family to have a party on your, and a meeting on your property, personal property. So the whole point of a religious special permit use is so that if Maytown wanted to, our church is pretty old. If they decided they were going to build a new church on that property, they would have to get the zoning and they'd have to get it rezoned for church. And they'd have to follow the rules. They'd have to build the right parking lots. They'd have to follow all the codes. They'd have to do all those things and then shut down the other one. And if it was Monavan, would probably buy it, turn it back into agriculture. So my question to you is, why did you need the special use permit for being a religious church when you have no intention of building a church?
Because I want you guys to know who I am.
Correct. We know that you're going to be there.
Okay.
We know that you help people. We know that you help people with the drug addictions or this or anxiety or whatever it is that you do. I have a lot of family members too. And I have a great sister-in-law that I go to for help all the time.
Nice.
So I get that. But
Mhm.
what does that have to do with a religious special use permit?
I guess that's because that's what they follow it, you know, and the type or the category. But I mean, really, I'm not making any. And I mean, like I heard the neighbors, I heard they all have kids. And then I'm pretty sure that they were going to be wondering, you know, why so many people, or why are they singing, or why is this and why is that? So that's why I want them to know.
Right. You know, I grew up in the south side of Chicago. I'm surprised these guys had let me stay here this long. But when I grew up in town, we had forest reserves and we would go to Turtlehead Lake, huge area, and we'd have 300, 400, 500 people out there having a huge Schumann family reunion all day, all night, cars, drinking, having fun, volleyball, and then leaving. And of course, the county cops were there too to make sure we follow the rules. Why do you need to come out to our area? And why do you need a religious special use permit to be able to have that kind of a gathering for whatever purpose it is, be it religious or fun or family or whatever? So this sounds more personal to me than what the whole point of this place is, the way I understand it, sir, is that this is about religious special use permit. Okay? This is not a religion. I haven't heard one thing about a religion or a specific religion for this use. I have not heard one thing about the future potential of building a church in 5 years, like the 5-year plan someone asked earlier. There's no intent of using that. That whole point of having that special use permit is to make sure that when a church does come, that it's of the willingness of the neighborhood, that they're going to contribute to the neighborhood. Everything you've said is private. My friends and family, my friends and family. You're not opening anything up to us. You're not providing anything to us that's for us to use, for us to betterment our community. How is that bettering making our community better? It's not. So you're looking for a private party and a special use permit to save that party from having to violate any codes or having sublet come out and shut you down because of the complaints from the neighborhood. And that's what you're trying to avoid. And if you don't have this permit passed, you're going to have neighbors and friends shutting down these 150 people gatherings, be it whatever they are, hopefully for the betterment of those people. But they're going to get shut down, and that makes it enable. So your intent of this permit, and I'm asking you, is your intent of this permit so that you can avoid those kind of complaints?
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
So you're not really using it to build a church. You're not using it for what the books are supposed to be for, why we're here, why my father-in-law spent 30 years as Lee Township supervisor and argued with me in and out. Mark, you wouldn't have a road if it wasn't for the government. And out of respect to my father-in-law, there is no way that this is not why these codes were put in place to provide a party for someone to come out from Crystal Lake for 150 people.
I understand your concerns. And like I said, yeah, if you guys say no, that's fine. I'm going to move on and you guys going to move on and everything is going to be fine.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Hi, I'm Matt Bickett, Bickett. I can see your house from where our farm is. And you said you wanted to move out here, be one with nature. Well, I live out there and there's like maybe 2 trees and then it's cornfields and nothing. It's pretty flat. I guess why did you choose this property? Because you live an hour and a half away. There had to have been like 50 other country residences, between here and there. Why did you choose this one?
Because literally it's 2 hours away from my house. And because it's nothing around my house. That's it. It's just the house. That's why I choose this house.
Yeah, but like you just searched for rural homes and this was the first one that popped up between the closest one, between where you live and this property. This was the only thing that popped up?
No, we went and see many more, but I mean, this one, the ones that suit me and the one that I like.
And what is your reasoning why you like this spot as opposed to the other ones?
Because I didn't have neighbors.
Okay. Another question I have, if this doesn't get approved, are you still going to go through with buying this property?
Yes, because that's what I wanted to do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. McLaughlin?
She says that.
If you have a question for her, I'll give you an
Yes.
opportunity to make a statement later if you'd like. If you have a question for her, please ask it.
So if this wouldn't go through, You still intend to buy the property? Did I understand that correctly?
If it doesn't go through, I'm not gonna buy it because that's what I want it for.
You would not buy it?
No,
Thank you.
thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Bickett. I live in Sublette, rural Sublette. So you just, I have a question for you. So you just said a moment ago that you would still be buying it even if this permit did not go through. And then you just said you would not be buying it. Which one is correct?
The second one.
As how the petition says on the sheet, is that you're buying real property contingent upon the approval of a special use permit. So the only way that you are going to buy this property is if this goes through.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just to clarify a couple things, you said you were going to be out there praying, singing, talking to the people. Isn't that all part of the religion? Would you agree or disagree that that is all part of being religious or it being in a religion?
It is a spiritual, but it's not a religion. Religion is a specific organization, but it's more spiritual.
So could you define for me the Mormon faith? Is that a religion or is that just a spiritual organization that you belong to?
Definitely Mormon is a religion.
Okay, so in the Mormon religion, do you pray?
I do.
And do you sing?
Yes.
And do you talk to each other and support each other and when you're in your Mormon church?
Only 50%.
Okay, thank you for answering those questions. And I do strongly ask that the zoning board does deny this request. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to close us down for questions at this time unless Ms. Hinkle has any questions based on anything that has come up since I last asked her.
No, thank you. I do have testimony, though.
Okay. That'll be the end of the questioning then of the petitioner. Now, Ms. Hinkle, stand and raise your right hand. State your name for the record and spell it.
Alice Hinkle, ALICEHENKEL,
And where do you work?
Lee County.
What do you do for Lee County?
I am the zoning administrator.
You familiar with this petition?
I am.
And do you have some evidence and testimony you'd like to present?
Yes, I've submitted my exhibits earlier. I'll dive into some testimony. I was not consulted with the petitioner, by the petitioner, when she came to this office. As I explained, days before she came in and signed the petition, her husband had talked of a different use that was more geared towards services for addictions. At that time, we talked about requiring a zoning change for that type of use. Days later, they both came back into my office to sign the petition. And when I asked if it was related to these services for addictions, she told me no, that it was a church. The existing uses of the nearby properties is predominantly agricultural, row crop farming, with few residential uses in the area, and the nearest residence being nearly a half-mile away as the crow flies. I have no evidence as to the extent property values will be diminished by any zoning restrictions. The extent to which the destruction of property values promotes public health, safety, and welfare is unknown in this situation. The proposed use typically does not cause destruction of property values. However, the petitioner's testimony was kind of vague as to what this use actually is. Depending on whether this organization offers services to the general public would determine if there's any public gain. Her testimony says it is not open to the public and therefore there would be no public gain. The parcel is not suitable as zoned. The property has not been vacant as zoned. The present use is compatible with the comprehensive plan, but the proposed use is not. The neighborhood has not expressed a public need for this proposed use. The proposed use would have little to no effect on the character of the neighborhood as they intend to utilize the existing structures on the property. The proposed use would have an impact on traffic conditions. There would be an increase in the number of vehicles on Rocky Ford Road during certain times of days and weeks throughout the month, and that would coincide with their events. Rocky Ford Road is a township road, and as mentioned earlier, it is not striped. The proposed use would have a negative effect on public health, safety if the use of existing structures occurs without first coming into compliance with fire codes, commercial building codes, and health department requirements. The proposed use could have a positive effect on the general welfare through its worship services. However, she has again testified that this is not a church and the services are not open to the public. Proposed use could affect the surrounding properties with the increase of traffic and potential noise produced during their services or events. The proposed use may have a negative effect on the environment if the septic system is not upgraded to accommodate up to, or even more than 150 people. Additionally, our comprehensive plan has institutional development standards. These state to allow institutional uses such as schools, churches, and civic buildings as special uses in all zoning districts. And by the way, our comprehensive plan helps the county direct development to certain areas so that we don't have miscellaneous uses popping up in areas where they might not be appropriate. It again further states to locate institutional uses in areas that serve as focal points for communities and neighborhoods, and where appropriate, support downtown activity levels and redevelopment. Additionally, require site plan review and high-quality site design, building design, landscaping, lighting, and signage for all institutional uses. And the following standards when considering proposed institutional development projects. The county should consider the use should not have a negative effect on existing traffic flows and volumes in the surrounding neighborhood. The existing street system must be adequate to meet increased traffic demands. Nearby residential uses should be adequately buffered from the institutional use via the use of decorative fencing, vegetative screening, berms, or similar features. Institutional uses should not generate on-street parking in residential neighborhoods. All parking needs for institutional uses should be met on-site. Institutional uses should be designed to be easily served by transit vehicles. There have been a lot of allusions to this being an organization of some sort, but I don't feel the defendant has really spelled out exactly what this use is, other than it is not a church. If this petition is recommended for approval and approved by the county board, I would be asking that the following conditions be included as requirements of this permit. One, the petitioner must hire and pay for commercial building inspection of all structures located on the property within 60 days of granting of any special use permit for the purpose of this use. Number two, the petitioner must comply with all requirements under the International Building Code. 3, the petitioner must have an inspection by the governing fire district of all structures located on the property within 60 days of the granting of any special use for the purpose of this facility. 4, the petitioner must comply with all requirements under the International Fire Code. 5, the petitioner must hire and pay for an inspection of the existing well and septic system located at the property within 60 days of the granting of any special use permit for the purpose of this facility. 6, the petitioner must comply with all requirements of the Illinois State Plumbing Code. 7, the petitioner must comply with all requirements of the Lee County Health Department. 8, septic contractor must design the commercial septic system based on occupancy for the Illinois Private Sewage Disposal Code. 9, any camping on site will require a separate special use permit and licensing with the Illinois Department of Public Health. That is all I have.
Anybody have any questions of Ms. Hinkle? Do you have any questions?
No.
Does anybody have any additional comments other than the comments that have been previously made? Anybody on Zoom have any? Do you have any closing remarks you would like to make as the petitioner?
No, I already say everything. Thank you.
As I said a couple of times, what I am tasked with doing is looking at the petition that is in front of me. As Ms. Hinkle said, that petition, if the board were to approve it, would be recommended to have those riders attached. I'm not making any determination here as I'm sitting. I will write up my findings and give those to Ms. Hinkle to give to the board. But I do want everyone to know that I am dealing with the permit requested in the petition, the change requested in the petition. If that is all, that was the last item on the agenda. Again, this body will meet again on October 29th at 5:30.
Real quick, do you have an approximate time of how long it will take you to have a response?
Should have it within the week.
Okay. And anyone can contact my office directly if you want an update on what the recommendation is.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. That concludes today's meeting.